want to show you how I sew together two pieces that I made. So I want to make a really nice seam, and this is the way I do it. I first need to attach a long piece of yarn, and I'm going to do that in the side of the top of my first stitch. In this case, it's the right side of my work. And normally I would just leave on a long piece of yarn when I fasten off my last row, so that I can use that to sew the two pieces together, but I forgot that. So first I have to add my working yarn. So that's what I'm do here. So, and then I'm going to take the next piece. So also here I'm going to make my first stitch in the side of my last stitch in this case. So not in the top, but just in the side, so that I'm just to start. So in this case, my first two stitches are very close together now, and now I can start make my seam. And that I do by inserting into the back loop of my stitch. Not in the front loop, but in the back loop of my stitch. So that is the back loop of my stitch. This is the front loop. So don't do this. This is incorrect. This is the back loop. So I'm working on the right side of my work, and I'm inserting like this into the back loop of my first stitch. Then I come back to the front or to the top via the second stitch, also the back loop of my second stitch. And then I'm just going to pull my yarn tightly. So like this. And then I'm gonna hop on over to my other piece, and there I do the same. So don't insert into the front stitch. We insert into the back stitch. So that's the back loop of my stitch, back loop. And we come back to the top via the second stitch, the back loop of the second stitch. And then I'm going to just pull my yarn. And now it's really important to insert into the back loop of my second stitch again also, and come back up in my third stitch. So it's really important to make your second stitch always to insert at the point where already the working yarn came out. So also over here, this is my second stitch, and I come back in my third stitch. So now I'm going to insert in the third, come back up in the fourth. So like this. And again on the other side, from the third back loop through the fourth back loop up, and pull my yarn. So I'm going to continue like this. So now I'm almost back at the end. So these are my last few stitches. So as you can see here, back into the point where my yarn was already. Yep, one more stitch. So you continue until you come back up in your last stitch. So for this side it's this stitch, so one more for the other. It's a bit difficult to do it all in one, so I'm just going to do it like this. So, and now I'm almost finished because I want to have a really neat and final touch to it. So my last stitch I will make just in the sides, the top of the side of this stitch. And always make your last one going to the back, to the wrong side of your work, like this. So you're now looking at the right side, and when I pull this tight, you already see a very nice seam. And now I'm going to hide my yarn ends, and I do that at the back. Just go back and forth through some stitches to secure my yarn. And yes, I'm maybe being thorough, but I don't want to yeah, just want to make sure that my yarn does not loosen up when I wear this. So I think, yeah, like this is just okay. So now I can just cut my yarn. So now you can see my seam, and I really just love the way this looks. So hope to have inspired you how to make a really nice seam, and see you maybe next time.